Okay, awesome. Uh, awesome. So, hi everybody, welcome to our Fastrack SC call. As you know, I love doing these calls, and tonight we have one of Denise Ambrose's absolute mega babes. And this call's very exciting because we always talk about fast tracking to SC, and obviously we have a lot of people, come on and do fast track, but what's really exciting is having someone that's recently come on and fast tracked and actually done it in 40 days. Like, it's super mad, super magical, and it's really such an honor to have you on tonight, Alice. And thank you, Denise, for introducing me. Super appreciate that. So excited to hear what Alice has to say. And she wanted to kind of call the topic how, like, the importance of putting on team to help you get your promotions. For me, I interpret that as like your whole team getting promotions too. Like, it's really important to make sure that you all know when the promotions are and what it's going to do for you, because if you don't know, then like you can't ship as well as you would like to. So let's hear a bit of information about Alice before I hand over and she tells you her story herself. But Alice has only been in the business for 5 months, so she's like a baby. And she has a partner as well. And her goal is with the JP business is to actually retire not only herself, but her partner from their 9 to 5s. And currently she works you work in a law firm now, right? But she's worked for 4 years before that too, in like an admin office. So the reason why I think you probably said yes to the business, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably because the products changed your life with your eczema. She used to suffer with really bad eczema her whole life, and now she started taking products, and they did what the products do best, and they really helped her with her eczema. So that's why I think you said yes to the business, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'd love to hear your story, love you to share with everybody your top tips, and I'm just gonna let you roll, and then we'll do questions at the end.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much for having me. This is definitely way out of my comfort zone, but I'm definitely excited to be here. So I have obviously been in the business for about 5 months. I'd been watching Denise for quite some time. I noticed that she left her teaching career, retired 8 years early, and I'm like, wow, this could actually be something amazing. So I reached out to her. I think she reached out to me in October last year, and it just wasn't the right time for me. She sent me a link to a video and everything, and then she reached out again in March, and I watched the link that she sent me, and I was like, why did I not watch this sooner? I was so blown away. I was like, okay, I'm ready for something new. I needed that extra little bit of spark in my life. Basically, all I did was work, come home, sit on the couch, eat dinner, and go to bed most nights, and there just wasn't really something there that would fuel my fire. So yeah, I came across this, and I'm so glad that I did, and I'm never going to look back, and I can't wait to live that freedom lifestyle that we always talk about. I'm really, really excited for that. So yeah, my starting of this business was pretty crazy. I started, and it just went so quickly. So can you shut the door? And it just went so quickly. It was a big whirlwind pretty much, and it is great to fast track. I'm not going to lie. It's great to know when you're hitting those promotions and stuff, but you just have to remember that you have to do it from the heart. One of my biggest things that I didn't even realize I was actually hitting SC, Denise actually had to say, oh, like, this person's just hit SDVF, you actually hit SC. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. So that was pretty crazy. I wasn't even really thinking about myself. I was just thinking about my team and their goals and what they wanted to achieve. So some hot tips, I guess, would be the 3-way calls and Zooms with your upline and your new team members. They are like gold, because especially with someone like Denise, because she has left her full-time job, so it really gives people a really big dream, which is really super awesome. Duplicating is another thing, so always do what you've done and teach that down to your downline. That's another massive thing. Building wide, so don't put all your eggs in one basket. I think I've put on now think it's been 7 frontline since I started. So I haven't just like put on my first couple and then just been like, all right, let's run with this. So I've tried to build wider and wider. So it's always a really good thing. And you're building your business at the same time when they put on team underneath you. So it's pretty much a gold mine. I think another hot tip is to do a goals session with your new team. I think that's really important to figure out why they're doing this, what they want this for, whether it's an extra $500 a month or whether they do want to take it all the way and do it as their full-time career. That's something that you should really knuckle down early to know what they want. So then when they sort of get in a bit of a negative moment, you just need to bring them back to why they started this in the first place. But yeah, I think just really with team, I think it's just the best to sort of support them and their goals and help them achieve those. Like I said before, come from the heart and just do it authentically. Don't be someone that you're not, because people aren't attracted to that type of person. And just be you and just enjoy the journey and show people your excitement. And we always say that your vibe attracts your tribe. So just be you and people will be attracted to that and your excitement. That kind of makes sense. Oh, I think we're frozen. I think we're frozen. Okay. No, we're back.
We're good again. You're back.
I can hear you, Alice.
Good. I was like, I couldn't see any movement, so I was like, oh no.
We're just riveted. We're riveted in our seats listening.
Oh, okay. I guess one last thing to sort of finish off that is you do the do and your team will follow you. So if you're reaching out, if you're posting 3 times a day, if you're on training, if you're presenting on training, like all of those things really are the characteristics that you need for this business. And if you're doing them, then your team will soon take the baton and actually do them alongside you. So I guess that's another really important tip, is to obviously get out of your comfort zone. I know 5 months ago I would not be sitting right here doing this, and Denise has always said to me, you just have to say yes to everything, you've got no choice. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what I've been doing, and I can definitely say that I've grown a lot over the past 5 months. Usually my voice would be like shaking and my hands would be shaking, but I'm feeling a lot better with talking in front of people now. Okay. Do you want me to answer the question, Tasha?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I'll just get it up. Just curious, what was the link that made you say yes? It was Linda Everden's Girls Just Want to Have Funds. It was one of those ones. So just hearing the stories and about the products and about what the business has done for people. So hopefully that answers the question. I can send that link to Tasha, but it is an Australian one, so I don't know how much it relates to you guys. That's basically all I wanted to touch on building your team and getting new people on board and things like that. So I don't know what we do next. Do you want to do some Q&A, Tasha, or?
Yeah, so the first question I have for you is, what does your day-to-day look like?
Okay, that's a really good question.
In the morning, obviously you work a 9 to 5, so I'll stop because of the signal.
So yeah, I do work from 8:30 till 5 every day. So it definitely can be hard to manage my time. So usually when I wake up, I check my messages, just reply to all of those. And then I usually put a post on Facebook. Then I get ready for work, obviously, do all that sort of stuff, and then go to work. And then on my lunch break, I tend to reply to those messages again. I can be on my phone at work to a certain extent, but I don't want to exactly burn any bridges at this stage because I am quite new. So I try and do some on my lunch break. So usually replying to messages, reaching out, popping another post on Facebook, stuff like that. And then after work, I usually come home, cook dinner, and then I can either be on calls, training, or just doing more reach outs. I think that that's the biggest one for me. So I use the Simon Chan DMO, which you guys have probably heard of. So I think it's a 3553. I don't know, something like that. So I use that, and it's been really good. It definitely is stepping out of your comfort zone with reaching out to people. But it's just what you've got to do if you want to succeed in this business. So that's sort of what my day-to-day looks like. But I really try and do this business in stolen moments. So if I'm on the ferry to work, or the ferry back, or on the weekend if I'm in the car with my partner driving, obviously. But yeah, just really the stolen moments are the biggest thing for me at this point, because I am so busy with work.
Hi, it's Lauren. I just want to thank you so much for doing the call for us. I normally don't jump on the Fastrack to SC calls, but thank you so much for doing this for me and for our team. And, you talk about stolen moments. It really is about stolen moments. But, in your stolen moments, how have you done it to make it a real priority? Because I think sometimes people look at it and they go, stolen moments, I'll do it if I have time, not versus a responsibility to get on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely does make sense. It's my pleasure being on here too, Lauren. I'm definitely very nervous, but I'm very excited. So with the stolen moments, I think that you just always have to think about the bigger picture and what you want to achieve. I think if you're just like, oh, I'm just doing this because I've got 5 minutes, is a complete different thing to being like, oh, I'm doing this because in 9 months' time I want to leave my job and have that freedom lifestyle that I've always wanted. So I think just really setting your mindset to what you want in the future is definitely a big thing to utilize those stolen moments as much.
So I don't know if you guys already talked about. So I don't know if you guys have already talked about this, and I've for jumping on late, but I don't know if you guys have already talked about this. But when you talk about those stolen moments, when the vision that's been created for you, I mean, you have some great mentors that that have really set a strong vision. How important it is that for people to really just own that vision? What can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we did touch a little bit on this with creating vision for your team when they first come on board, so they know that in those negative moments you do bring them back to the start and why they're actually here. But I definitely think it is important to have a vision and not doing it just because. I think that if you don't have something to work towards, it makes the business like 10 times harder because you're just thinking of the now instead of the future. And I think that it's always really important to think of the future and what you want to bring to this world, because if you don't, then you're just going to be like, oh, it's okay, I don't mind if I spend this 10 minutes scrolling through my phone on Facebook when I could be doing 20 reach outs. So I think just really bringing it back to what you want to achieve in this is really important.
So who's someone that you saw that set a vision and they're like, and you saw them really make it happen, and you're like, geez, maybe I should take this vision thing a little bit more seriously, and not just in my stolen moments, but like, make sure I have more stolen moments. Like, what's happened for you? Is there somebody that, you see them either maybe, once they got to Q or NMD or something, you saw them like make some sorry, someone's calling me. My life is a phone. Someone's calling me. Anybody that you saw that like really like inspired, and you heard them talk about vision, but it wasn't fluff. They told you what their life was going to look like. a year from now or 5 years from now. I know some of those people, for me, you know, like especially I say Adam and Kira are a great example for me with regards to that, you know, so and what they've created. But what about you with regards to, is there somebody that's just been like, wow, holy sheets, they really set out to do that and they made it happen and now you're committing more?
Yeah. I haven't really come across someone who, say, is working full-time at the moment and has changed their life to live that freedom lifestyle, apart from people who have already done it, if that kind of makes sense. So obviously Denise is a big one for me. I've known her since I was born. So I watched her journey on Facebook for one or two, I think it was about 1 year before she was able to leave her teaching career.
Yeah.
So she's a big one, but like, it's just seeing all our leaders really that they've made this happen. They haven't just sat on their bums and not done anything, and they're still pouring into us. And I'm like, that's pretty amazing that someone who literally can just, you know, be and live and basically have the freedom to do whatever they want to do, still put the time and effort to the people that are just starting. So
that's a great distinction, sweetie. Is that something that you would say has got you to how would I say it? That's like your driver now, that you want to be able to do that one day for somebody? Is that what you would say?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I think it's so important too, because we're getting all of this now. So I think it's so important to give back when you're at that stage, or even now, like just giving back to your team and giving back to the people around you and things like that. I feel like that's so important to do.
Right. So that's what's really inspired you to stay in the game, is because one day you want to do that. Is that what you would say? That's what's pulling you. Awesome. So where do you see yourself right now, a year from now? And what are you able to do a year from now for you and your team? And what are you able to do a year from now?
So a year from now, my plan is to leave my job. My contract finishes on the 2nd of May. So my plan is to leave my full-time job then. And then from a year from now, I would love to be an MD, and I know that I can do it. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but it's going to be so worth it in the end. And just like lead the way for my team, I think is so important to do. Because
so it sounds like, you know, that even though you're still going to be able to do that lot of work in those stolen moments, huh?
Yeah. And I definitely do. For instance, so my day-to-day is usually in the stolen moments, but I've got time before work, lunchtime, and after work. But the rest is sort of stolen moments throughout my day. So if I've got like 2 minutes where the phone's not ringing at work or something, I quickly like check my messages or, you know, do that kind of thing. And then I usually have a whole Saturday where I can just knuckle down and do what I need to do. At the moment, I am planning a wedding, and it's like a month away, so it is a little bit intense. But it's just about balance of work, wedding planning, and the business that you've just got to deal with. And just make it a priority. Like, it's not that hard. Like, you could sit and watch TV for an hour, or you could do an hour of work. So it's just making this a priority.
So how many on just average, just so everybody knows, how much time would you say that you're committing to your business right now as you're planning a wedding, as you're doing all these things, plus? What would you say that, how much are you committing to your time right now, so they can see that it's possible?
So probably during the week, maybe 3 to 4 hours. And then on a Saturday, I'd probably say I do half wedding, half business, and then maybe a little bit of cleaning the house if I can be bothered, because that's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably around maybe 5 hours on a Saturday. And then I do try and I feel like it's really important for me and my partner to have that time together. And I obviously want to keep our relationship strong for good reason.
Have babies soon, right? And have babies after that?
Oh, no way. They're way off. I've got to travel 12 first.
All right. We'll give you that little bit of time. We'll give you that time. So what would be your final words of advice to everybody? You know, there's people, we have a lot of people on the line that are, I would say, you know, been at the SC position for, you know, for a while. What would you say to some of those people that are at that SC position or going for that SC position for you to know that you're going to be able to do this while planning a wedding? I mean, what a compelling story, right? Like your story is even great. Like, you know, that, wow, I'm doing this while, you know, while I did, you know, planned a wedding. What would you say to everybody when it is?
Oh, that's really tough. I think that the biggest thing is, like I said before, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because you really need to meet people where they're at, especially bringing a new team. Like, some people do want to really thrive and take it all the way, and some people do just want to get their products cheaper. So I think that's a really good thing, because you don't want to scare them off. So you don't want to bring people on and be like, okay, this is your next thing, this is your next thing, if they don't want that, because otherwise they will just get off. And then eventually they may even fall away as a customer if they feel like they're really pressured from the business, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I think also, like I said before, just be yourself. Like, people are friends with you because you're you. They want to see you shine. They don't want to see someone else who is a complete different person and has a complete different perception to what you did before you started this business. So I think that that's a really important thing to remember.
So the importance of sharing your story and getting your story down so well, right? Like you just said, I think that's your story, right? Yep.
Yeah, and especially sharing your story, the results that you've had on the product, the things that the business has helped you with your finances, with being able to go and get your hair done every month or whatever, or get your nails done or your eyelashes done, or whatever that is, whatever you love to do, and business has been able to let you do that. I think that that's really important too. I think just like I said, just remember your vision and remember where this wants to take you. I've seen some incredible things happen, especially over the last month. One of my girls hit SC. A month ago, she only had one DVF, and in the past month, she's brought on 2 new team members, and they've both hit SDVF within, I think it was around 30 days. So nothing's impossible. It's just you've got to know what you want to achieve and how you've got to achieve it, and the rest will just fall into place, honestly. If you find those little diamonds, then the rest will just fall into place, because you're helping them create what they want. So then it'll flow onto you.
Awesome. So it sounds like do the work in your stolen moments, right? Find more stolen moments to do it. You don't have to do 20 hours worth of work a week. You're talking about 3 to 5 hours a week. You're an SSC now, is that correct, or a Q? I apologize.
I am going to hit SSC this month. I'm just waiting for
awesome. So SSC, going for SSC this month. You've done that in your stolen moments of 3 to 4 hours of work a week. You've already built out people to go to SDVF, and they're already growing their team. You've got a vision for yourself. You're sharing your story. You're doing this as you're planning a wedding. So as I say, all excuses are equal, right? Yeah. We so appreciate you getting up so early in the morning. I know Tasha arranged this, and it's awesome. So let's thank Tasha again for arranging these calls, and we'll have these recorded and let you guys know about it. But Denise, thank you so much for sharing her with us as well. And just a big congratulations to you. And thank you again for doing this for us, and looking forward to seeing you at the next event, next conference, and seeing your wedding pictures. When's the wedding?
On the 26th of October, so not far at all.
Oh my Lord. Well, we look forward to soon seeing your wedding pictures and looking at those while we're coming back from conference. So thank you so much. Are there any final questions for her? Anyone? It's in the middle of the day here for us in the United States. So lots of times we use this as a recording for people just because it is the middle of the day. So anyone? Awesome. Well, thank you so much, hon. It was great. And sorry I jumped on you late.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Thanks, Alice.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
See you soon. No, I loved it. Thank you.
Thanks, Alice.
I'll end it for us.
Thanks, guys.
Raina.